guys, welcome to another Rules Primer video. Today we're talking about D-Day Dice, a cooperative game by Valley Games that just arrived for Kickstarter backers. Since this is a cooperative game and I'm actually going to playing it solo, I'm going to, instead of doing my usual structure, I'm just going to play through a few turns of the game, kind of try to explain the game as I go along. Before that, though, a quick disclaimer. I've only played the game a couple of times, so I'm no expert on strategy. So my goal is to teach you how the game works, not so much how to play the game well. So keep that in mind as we go. Okay, so this is a cooperative game. Each player plays a unit, controls a unit of soldiers during D-Day, or in this case, Exercise Tiger, which is a training exercise before D-Day. And you start down here on the beach, the area with this little S, which means the starter sign. And your goal is to make it into the bunker. Now, each turn you're going to be rolling these dice, and based on the results of those dice, you're going to gain a couple of resources. The first resource is soldiers, so you can start with 4. You start with 4 soldiers. You can tell that by the icon actually on the board, what you start with. You also so you're going to lose a certain number of soldiers each round each turn as you move up. And the goal is to have enough soldiers, of course, to make it all the way to the bunker. You also get medals, which courage is what that's called. Each time you move, you advance up, it costs a certain amount of courage. So, for example, to move from the starting beach, Sector 1, into either Sector 3 or Sector 2, it costs 1 courage. To move from Sector 2 up into Sector 4, it's going to cost another 2 courage. And so on. So you need courage to advance. You also get this tool, which is item points. Item points let you purchase items, of course, such as the toolkit or the bazooka. Each map has a certain list of items that are available for that map. And items are kind of one-time use things. You're going to keep them, and then once you use them, you have to discard them. But they can be very useful. And finally, we have stars, which you use to recruit specialists into your unit. Now, specialists, you can see they cost a certain amount of stars, and they give you benefits, sort of like items, but they actually are placed next to your tracker, and they actually stay out and help you for the rest of the game unless you have to discard them for some reason. And then finally, if you roll a straight, which is one of each icon, you get to draw an award. You get to draw an award, which actually has never happened to me yet, but I'm assuming these are super awesome things that you can use. Okay, so let's get started. You start out with the first chevron showing, which the chevrons kind of track how long you've been in an area. So you start out with 1 showing. So I'll roll the dice. Let's see if I can get this on video. Okay, so after the first roll, you're going to have to lock 2 dice. And this is where you have to start making decisions. Let's look at the different icons first. This means I would gain 1 soldier. Pretty simple. This means I would gain 2 soldiers. This means I would gain a star. This means I would gain a courage. A skull cancels out one of the other dice, so the skulls are bad. And this means I would gain 2 soldiers. Now there's also something called a red, white, and blue bonus, which happens if you roll the same icon on all 3 colored dice. So I don't have that yet, but those give you special bonus things, which you can see on somewhere in here. Oh, here. This little chart shows you the special things you get. And it seems, although I've only played this solo, it seems like they help you more solo than they would in a regular, but maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, they're good. So I have to choose 2 to lock, and I think I'll choose these 2. I'll lock these dice. Now, I can never re-roll those dice. The rest of the dice I get to roll once or twice. So once or twice more for a total of 3 rolls. So I'll roll them again. Do I want to keep any of these? Well, they're all pretty good. I think I'll keep these 2 because I need some courage to get up to the next sector, and I'll re-roll these. Ah, okay, another good, decent roll. Okay, so let's check the turn guide right, or make sure I'm not screwing this up. Okay, phase 1, you roll the dice. Phase 2, upkeep, you adjust the unit marker. Okay, so I got 2, 4, 6, 7 troops. So I'll add 7 for a total of 11. That's another thing that might annoy you as you watch this video, is I have a tendency to turn these markers in the least efficient way possible. Anyway, 7 soldiers and 2 courage. Especially difficult one-handed. Okay. So, phase 3, recruit specialists. Well, I've got no item points and no stars, so I can't recruit any specialists. Now I forgot to adjust my unit marker. I also need to move that up to 2 chevrons. Now, for most turns you can stay, so that you can stay 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, and then the next time you have to move. Some sectors, such as sector 6, see how it's black? That means you have to put it on to the black shield, and you have to move at the end of that turn. But right now I'm staying here. I've got to move it up to the 2 chevrons. There we go. Now, the next one is move. So I have the courage. I could move up to sector 3. In sector 3, I would gain a sharpshooter, and I would get an extra star next turn. Or I could move to sector 2, which I'd gain a scout, and I would get an extra courage on the next turn. But if I move up here, I'm going to have to lose 4 men. Here, I'm only going to lose 2. I think I'm going to stay here and spend 1 more turn on the beach to gain more resources. So I don't move. Now the last phase is combat. So you take the number of the inside the shield for your sector as damage to your men. So I lose 2, which of course will bring me back down to 9. I mean, I have to flip both. There we go. Okay. So 2 guys are left behind on the beach. And it's the next round. Let's roll the dice. Okay. Okay. Let's see, which do I want to lock? I actually think I'll lock these 2 tools, see if I can get some items this turn. Oh wow, okay. So there's my red, white, and blue bonus for items. Let's see what that will give me. Special find. You can find a used item, which that won't be particularly helpful. Or, because we don't have any used items, or I can gain 2 stars. Okay, well that's helpful. And that's in addition to what the dice give you. So I definitely don't want to re-roll those. Do I need to re-roll? Do I want to re-roll these? Actually, I think I'll keep that. You know what? I'll just keep them all. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tools. Look at this little chart here. 4 tools mean I get 12 item points. That was pretty good. Found a lot of junk on the beach this turn. Now I get 2 stars because of that red, white, and blue bonus, plus this one for a total of 3 stars. And I get 2 guys, which brings it back up to 11. Okay, so now I need to phase 3. Oh wait, upkeep, that was upkeep. I need to move it to the 3rd chevron. And next I can recruit specialists. Okay, so I've got 12 item points. Let's spend those first. So I'm going to get either a scout or sharpshooter next turn for free, so I probably don't want to do that. I can't afford the bazooka yet, although I would like to have that before I get to the bunker. Oh wait, specialist, that doesn't matter, but okay, so I can afford any of these right now. Toolkit's very helpful. Dispatch page, copy the final tally another unit. That doesn't seem like that. I think maybe there's some special rules for this guy for the solo, but I'm not going to look them up. I'm just not going to buy that one. This is helpful, the flak vest. Now I haven't talked. Some of these sectors have this little icon, which means not only are you going to have to take 8 damage, lose 8 troops, but you're also going to have to roll the 6-sided die and add that. You'll also lose that many soldiers as well. And some maps have a special thing when if you roll a 6 on the machine gun dice, that's especially bad. And this one doesn't, but still, that can be harmful for sure. I could add up to an extra 6 loss. So this would be useful. Let's go ahead and buy the flak vest for 7. Which leaves me with 5 points. Oh, shoot. This is hard with one-handed. Five points left. Maybe we can save up some more to buy the bazooka before we get to the top. We still have a long time to go. Okay, so now let's spend our 3 stars to recruit a specialist. Now this is where we need to keep in mind that we're going to get a scout or a sharpshooter for free. The sharpshooter lets ignore the effects of a skull, which is useful. The scout I definitely want to probably get next turn because I really like the scout. So I'm not going to recruit him now, but I'm going to get him later. Can't afford the medic. Could get the Beachmaster. He's pretty helpful. You gain 3 soldiers every time you advance. So he's definitely a maybe. The Minesweeper, ignore landmines. Okay, so see these landmines in between some sectors. You lose troops if you go through those sectors, and this guy would help us ignore those. Also very helpful. And then, well, all of these are good. I'm not going to spend time to go through all of them. Reroll a die, that's helpful. I think I'm going to buy the Beachmaster. So that brings me back down to 0 stars. And he'll go out here. Now remember, I can use him every turn. But the flak vest, if I use it, I have to discard it. Okay, so that was phase 3. Phase 4 is move. So I need to decide if I'm going to move or not. I think I'll go ahead and move. So what I do is I pick a sector, so either sector 3 or sector 2. Since I want the scout, I'm going to go to sector 2. Every time you move, you go back to your first chevron, because that's the first turn in there. I get to get the scout, add him to my entourage here. Now, since I moved, I get to use my Beachmaster to get 3 dudes. That brings me up to 14. Got quite the little squad here. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, since I moved up here, I need to lose 1 courage. Oops, wrong way. Okay, and then now after moving is combat, which means I'm going to lose 4 guys, which brings me down to 10. All right, next turn. I'll roll the dice. See what we got here. 2 tools, courage, a star, a couple of dudes. Now remember, this turn I'm going to get a +1 courage automatically. So what do I want to lock? I think I might need some troops, maybe. I'm down to 10 dudes, and I'm going to lose 4 this round. So I think I'll lock this guy for sure. And I think it would be useful to have some more guys. So I think I'll lock that one. Okay. Okay, I think I'll keep this guy and re-roll these. Oh, okay, this is the first time I got a skull, so it has to cancel out something. I'll cancel out this item point. That wouldn't be all that helpful anyway. So that gives me 6 guys and 1 star. So I'm up to 16. And I got 1 star, which won't be helpful now, but maybe next turn. Okay, adjust my chevron. Now I have 5 item points, but that's not really helpful. And 1 star is not going to give me anything. And I can't advance because I need 2 I need 2 courage to advance. So that's not going to help me. So I'm not going to be able to move. I'm going to lose 4 guys for combat. Wait, oh shoot, what was I on? I think that's right? 12? Anyway, yeah. Okay, so another round. So I think this probably will give you a good idea of how the game works. You're going to keep rolling, keep gaining resources, keep gaining stuff. Now I didn't actually show you how you use these. Well, I did the Beachmaster, but each card is different and they make sense. Like I could use this guy. Actually, I should have already used him to add 1 tool to that last roll. So you have to remember to use these things, obviously, or they won't do any good. And then when I enter a sector with machine gun fire is when I'll roll that and not have to take that extra damage. So you just keep moving from sector to sector until you get to the bunker, and if you can get in the bunker and destroy it, then you're going to win the game. You can lose the game if you run out of men. Basically, if your whole unit is destroyed. Now, also, some of these things, like this one says you have to have a corporal in your squad before you can move there. And then also this one, you can see it says -1 specialist. That means you have to kill a specialist, discard it to get into that space. This one, so you can see this icon means no dice are locked here, so you can re-roll all the dice. And this one means that you roll only 5 dice. So you can see each sector can have different things. And each battle map can have different things, obviously. And at least from the Kickstarter, we got a ton of different battle maps. And this is just the first training one. You can see they get pretty wild. This is, that can get kind of crazy. So even though you may be watching this and think, wow, this game looks easy. He's already made it, up to a sector and, he's got a bunch of guys and stuff. Well, things can turn bad quickly. Even in the training exercise, things can turn bad. And I'm sure you've seen other unboxing videos, just the amount of stuff that comes in this. This is all the base game, or all the base game with the Kickstarter extras. I mean, it's just like a ton of stuff. So anyway, hopefully this video will give you kind of an idea how the game works, how to play the game. Maybe you can get started playing it without having to read the rule book multiple times or anything. And I hope you enjoy the game, and happy gaming. Thanks for watching.